Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. This brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. What does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of bratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach.
All right, some of you probably figured out that I work at a beer distributor. And guess what? I'm pissed. Want to know why? It's because Bud Light partnered up with a trans person, Dylan Mulvaney. She is just a bright light in a dark world. And even though I haven't seen much of her stuff, I find her to be a very genuine, sweet person. I don't understand why folks are wanting to boycott now, but now I've got all these transphobes coming in and asking how our Bud Light sales are doing, or if they're making a dent because they're not buying Bud Light anymore. And okay, F-bombs coming in. Guess fucking what? Everybody drinks. So why the hell does it matter who Bud Light partners with, or who drinks Bud Light, or any of that bullshit? Fuck off with your goddamn fucking hate. Any chance you get to hate this group of people that want nothing more than just to be left alone and have human rights like everybody else. And now you're going to try and make some big deal about it by not buying a particular type of beer because they're partnering with people that were drinking it anyway? Go fuck yourself.
Okay, did you all see this? Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney is partnering with Bud Light. This isn't an April Fool's joke. All this news came out yesterday, and I think it's beautiful. Now, you might say, Cassie, but that's such a weird brand deal. A trans woman and Bud Light? And I'm like, I know, but let me tell you why this is great. You're correct in saying that it's weird, because the two demographics here are usually just two Venn diagram circles very far apart from each other. But that's why it's amazing. So often we're just preaching to the choir. And now there is trans representation on a Bud Light can. On a Bud Light can. That is incredible. Think of all the people who usually are drinking Bud Light. Oh, that's amazing that they're drinking out of a can with a trans woman on it. I'm like, yes, because representation everywhere matters. Again, I have to reiterate, it's important to normalize our existence.
Some people are absolutely losing it over this video. Kid Rock shot a load of Bud Light cases, and other people have been pouring the drink down the sink or just saying that they will never buy it again. It's all because of this can, which Bud Light sent to Dylan Mulvaney, who's a trans TikToker. She's been sharing her transition online, and Bud Light sent her the commemorative can as a celebration of 365 days of girlhood.
So these transphobes are coming out of the woodwork because Bud Light decided to support trans people. And people are arguing, well, like, the problem is, that, this is being forced on everybody and we can't accept it. And there's a lot of problems with that rhetoric. And one of the problems I wanted to call attention to is that people treat that as a very simple thing, right? Oh, I just can't accept it. But history has consistently shown that I can't accept it turns into, oh, well, I wish they can turn into, and often turns into, oh, I wish they could just disappear. And then that can turn into, oh, I wish we could do something about it. And then that can turn into, oh, they need to be exterminated. And so that's why you see so many people pushing back, allies and the such are pushing back on rhetoric like this, because it is dangerous and trans people are losing their lives. It's more serious than just a fucking beer. And it's really frustrating that people just seem to not get that.
All the transphobes dumping out their Bud Light and literally boycotting companies like Tampax and Nike, all because they chose a trans woman to promote their brand, which is apparently the promotion of inappropriate LGBT content. And since you want to stay away from companies that promote this inappropriate LGBT content, then it's your lucky day, because the companies that I'm about to name, you can't use anymore. Spotify, Xbox, Twitter, YouTube, DoorDash, AT&T, T-Mobile, CVS, MasterCard, Tesla, Hershey, Uber, MTV, Coors Light, Twitch, Verizon, EA, Reddit, and Target. And the list doesn't stop here. But my point is, y'all don't care about the actual company itself. The fact that they're being inclusive is what really bothers you. Because if the product was your main goal, I genuinely don't think you would care about what they choose to promote or not. But go ahead, keep shooting beer cans. But just so you know, your Target trips are done.
Hi, Benji here, and in light of the current boycott of Nike and Bud Light by right-wing conservatives simply for working with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney, let's talk about why Get Woke, Go Broke isn't true. Get Woke, Go Broke is essentially the claim that when brands align themselves with marginalized communities, they lose revenue. People like Caitlyn Jenner push this claim that inclusion is bad for business, when that's simply not true. Time and time again, brands that face backlash from the anti-woke mob come out of it just fine. It didn't hurt Nike back in 2018 when people burned their Nike gear because they worked with Colin Kaepernick. Their stocks actually rose by 5% and that campaign won an Emmy. And there are multiple studies which show that inclusive ads perform better and the majority of consumers want the brands they buy from to have inclusive values. Ultimately, if it didn't work, brands wouldn't be doing it. The business case is robust. Backlash to woke brands can pretty much be summed up by this meme. Most of us in the real world who aren't crying online don't care. We actually love to see it. Hope that helps. Bye.
Let me give you a little insight into what a trans ally like myself is thinking working at a beer distributor while all this Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney controversies going on. For me, it's not about the beer sales. I've been involved in beer and alcohol sales since I was in my 20s, like over 15 years. 20 years, actually. And it's recession proof. It's almost everything proof. People are always going to drink. And their tastes change a lot more than they used to. A lot of fans, supporters used to never change their beers. But now with such a saturated market, so many different options, especially on the local level, a lot of beer drinkers have been shifting away from some of the major names anyway. And that's why we see more and more different products coming in, like seltzers, gluten-free beers. Non-alcoholic beers are becoming a thing now, served at bars because some people want to enjoy a beverage without sacrificing flavor or just the social experience of it. So for me, because a lot of the comments I've gotten are negative, like, oh, your sales are down, oh, you're gonna get laid off, oh, you probably got pallets of this stuff sitting everywhere. Well, first off, we always have pallets of tons of beer sitting all the time, and they move quite quickly, and they're moving a lot right now because it's so warm. We're in spring, it's fishing season. So all that to say, for me, I don't care about the sales in the sense that, like, I know it's going to pass. People are going to get pissed off about something else. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is speaking up against trans hate and to see how angry and how absolutely repulsive and disgusting the hate is from some of the transphobes that supposedly hold up family values, Christian conservative values. When you call trans people its, or things, or they need to be eradicated, or they're disgusting, so on and so forth, that's what I speak up against. Because that kind of hate talk should never be normalized, and it will never be normalized around me. So buy Bud Light, don't buy it, I don't care. Someone's going to come along and buy it. Like, that's just a fact. You're literally going up against one of the biggest industries trying to make a statement out of hate. And let me tell you, it's working because now we know who you bigots are, which makes it so much easier to deny you service, to send you on your way somewhere else to get your beer, because guess what? We don't need you. Nobody does. That's the point. You offer nothing to this society but your hate, your disgusting, evil thoughts about your neighbors, about just people in general, your dehumanization of a whole group of people. And now, to top it all off, your sudden concern about mass shootings because one member from this community that's already marginalized was involved. You're those of you that think that way, talk that way, please know you're not normal, and your hate won't be normalized by anyone but you. So you can comment and disagree with me and say I'm lying and all this stuff as much as you want, because it keeps my views going so good. I'm literally just a few followers away from being able to go live now. And that was I didn't imagine that happening anytime soon. And now it's going to be happening soon. So to all my trans friends, neighbors, and the community at large, please know I still stand with you. I stand against this hateful rhetoric. I stand against the hateful behavior of these people who think that they are good, decent human beings when we all know they're not. So stay strong, enjoy a beer, crack a cold one, and get over yourself. Transphobes, move on.
This Bud Light controversy has me messed up, you guys. If you don't know the reason as to why every extreme right-wing conservative is sprinting to their refrigerator to dump out their Bud Light, here's why. 2 reasons. 1, Bud Light announced their Pride packaging. 2, Bud Light announced Dylan Mulvaney, this gorgeous, gorgeous woman, to be a sponsor for their beer. Not even the whole face, just a sponsor, so calm down. But Dylan does happen to be transgender, and this has set people into a frenzy. These people are out there losing their minds, literally. I get on social media, and video after video after video, we are taking these Bud Lights, we're pouring them out, we're taking a sip, and then it's turning us gay. And it's got me left with this question is, have you been a Bud Light drinker for more than 2 days? And the answer must be yes if you're this angry. So let's take a look at this old Bud Light ad. Or this old Bud Light ad. You have been drinking this beer who has supported the LGBTQ plus community for a very long time, and nothing has happened, but now we're set off, okay? So then we're saying, throw out the Bud Light, get the Miller, okay? Throw out the Miller, get the Coors, okay? So where I am left with is, if you don't want to drink a big brand beer that supports LGBTQ plus community, good luck, because it's 2023. So take your dried taste buds to that homophobic hill you are willing to die on. Cheers.
You ain't gonna turn me gay, Bud Light, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, all these transphobic, homophobic Kid Rock fans that are dumping out all their Bud Light on TikTok, it's real sad to see. I mean, guys, just so you know, before you decided to ban Bud Light, make no mistake, Bud Light decided to ban you. You know, Anheuser-Busch doesn't exactly make the decision to hire a trans spokesperson without thinking things through. They just thought it would be a better look for you not to be drinking their beer. They just didn't want to align with your neo-Nazi ideals. So you know what? Enjoy your hate. Another thing real quick. So happens that one of my best mentors was a guy named Bill Aucoin. And Bill was the first manager for Kiss. He's the one who told them to put makeup on. He made Kiss. So anyway, fabulous gay man. Enjoy the shirt.
Serious question for all y'all transphobes up in my comments. Why do you all keep using that phrasing? They're shoving it down our throats. They keep shoving it down our throats. That's such a specific phrasing. Especially considering what we're talking about. Kind of makes me wonder what you guys are used to having shoved down your throat, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Businesses, if you guys don't see trans people as, actual people, human beings with feelings that you need to protect, shield, and cover from the vitriol, hate, and harassment that your consumers give them, but instead only view them as marketing tools that you can toss to the side when you're tired of them getting harassed, then don't use them. Trans people, please include a protection clause in your contract. If I get harassed, if I start to get hate crimed, if I start to get threats of unalivement, you're going to need to stand next to me and say, fuck all transphobes, we actually don't need your money. Leave Dylan fuck alone, she didn't do shit to you. This is too, I see you, I hear you, we support you. For the transphobes, though. For the transphobes.
I literally have so much to say, but I'm not going to say much at all besides be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. Like what you want to like. If you want to get called an elephant, I'll call you an elephant. I don't care. What you do with your life doesn't faze me. What I do with my life, if it fazes you, then grow up. Worry about yourself. The simple fact is, if everybody minded their own business and wasn't worried about so much that has nothing to do with him, if I'm not sleeping with you or laying with you, why are you so offended by what I do in life? Oh, it's your religion, right? Well, that's your ways. Be yourself. I don't care what you think about me. I don't give a hot damn. It doesn't bother me. People are childish. They need to grow up. If people minded their own business and worried about their own life, we wouldn't be in the predicaments we are. But they don't, because they're miserable. And people are sad. Miserable little babies. Grow up. Worry about yourself. Do you. Fuck what anybody else thinks. Period.